All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into the career of LeBron James.
LeBron James.
One of the biggest names in basketball.
Yeah.
From his high school days to his current reign in the NBA.
Oh, okay.
So get ready for record-breaking wins, championships, business moves, and even some controversies along the way.
Sounds good.
Are you ready to unpack all of this?
Absolutely. I think what's fascinating about LeBron's story is that he's become so much more than just a basketball player.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's a businessman, he's a media powerhouse, and he's a voice that carries real weight even outside the world of sports.
It's true.
Yeah.
So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
LeBron's journey begins with him going from this high school phenomenon to an NBA superstar.
Right?
Can you imagine playing in college arenas while you're still in high school?
Wow.
That's how much hype surrounded him even back then.
Yeah, that's pretty unheard of for a high school athlete to get that kind of attention. It speaks volumes about his raw talent and athleticism. You know, people knew he was special right from the start.
And even early on, there were these moments that kind of hinted at the level of scrutiny he'd faced throughout his career.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about things like the Hummer incident where he was gifted an expensive car.
Yeah.
And the jersey controversy during his senior year.
Right. Those early controversies definitely foreshadowed the media attention that would follow him.
Yeah.
They raised some serious questions about the pressures young athletes face, especially when it comes to amateurism rules and navigating fame and endorsements at such a young age.
It's like people were already watching his every move.
Exactly.
So LeBron's talent was undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
He gets drafted first overall by his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he instantly starts living up to all that hype, Rookie of the Year scoring titles. But those championship wins, those were a bit more elusive at first.
Exactly. He was putting up incredible numbers individually in those early years, with Cleveland showing everyone just how good he was. But building a championship caliber team around him proved to be a real challenge.
Right.
And that led to some growing pains and frustration, both for LeBron and for the city of Cleveland, who were just longing for a championship.
And that frustration, as we all know, led to the decision.
The decision?
Now, for anyone who might not remember this, was that televised special where LeBron announced he was leaving Cleveland to join forces with Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, forming what we now call a super team.
Right.
It was basically the first time we saw three major stars team up like that.
Yeah.
And it absolutely shook the NBA.
It really did. The decision became this huge lightning rod for criticism. People were debating whether it was empowering or narcissistic,
Right.
smart business move or betrayal of his hometown fans.
Oh yeah, you had Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cavaliers, publishing this incredibly angry open letter.
Oh, I remember that.
Calling LeBron's decision a cowardly betrayal and guaranteeing Cleveland would win a championship for him. And then there was LeBron's own "taking my talents to South Beach" line, which became a punchline for his critics.
Yeah.
It really felt like this pivotal moment in LeBron's career, not just for his success on the court, but also for his public image. What's your take on that?
It definitely changed the conversation around player empowerment and free agency in the NBA.
Okay.
People were asking if players had too much power and if this system encouraged these super teams to form,
Right.
which could hurt the competitive balance of the league.
Yeah,
These are still hot button issues today, you know?
absolutely. But putting aside all the drama,
Okay.
you can't deny that LeBron's time in Miami was incredibly successful. 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, 4 straight trips to the finals.
Yeah, he really took his game to a whole new level, playing alongside 2 other All-Stars.
For sure.
He also grew as a leader and a player during that time.
Right.
He learned how to trust his teammates, share the responsibility of scoring, and really elevate everyone around him. It was crucial for his development, despite all the initial backlash.
But even with all that success, did you ever get the feeling that something was still missing? Like maybe he hadn't completely won over those fans outside of Miami.
That's an interesting point. Even with those championships, there was this narrative that he needed to prove himself in a different way. And that leads us to his return to Cleveland,
Okay.
which really felt like a redemption arc.
It's like something out of a movie.
It is.
This is LeBron returning to his roots, to the city that embraced him as this high school star. And now he's trying to make good on that promise of bringing them a championship.
Exactly.
The weight of that expectation must have been enormous, though.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. He returns to Cleveland, and everyone is welcoming him with open arms.
Right.
but anything less than a championship would have been seen as a failure.
Yeah.
How do you even handle that kind of pressure?
It's almost unimaginable.
So he teams up with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, creating another powerful trio.
Right.
But this time it feels different. This isn't about chasing individual glory anymore.
Okay.
It's about fulfilling a destiny, bringing a championship to a city that's experienced so much heartbreak.
I see.
And that leads us to the 2016 finals,
Okay.
where they're facing the Golden State Warriors, a team that had just won a record-breaking 73 games that season.
Wow.
They were seemingly unbeatable.
Yeah.
And yet down 3-1, LeBron and the Cavaliers pull off one of the greatest comebacks in sports history.
Incredible.
It was incredible. That victory was more than just a championship. It was this cultural phenomenon. Imagine the emotions for Cleveland fans ending a 52-year championship drought across all major sports.
Yeah.
And for LeBron, it solidified his place in NBA history.
Absolutely. That moment with LeBron blocking Andre Iguodala's shot, then screaming in triumph and collapsing to the floor in tears.
Oh, yeah.
It was pure emotion. It was about defying the odds, overcoming adversity, and fulfilling a promise.
It really felt like the perfect ending to a chapter in his story, wouldn't you say?
It would be for most players, but for LeBron, this was just another stepping stone in his journey.
And that brings us to his next chapter, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
One of the most legendary franchises in NBA history, with a legacy built on icons like Kobe Bryant and Magic Johnson.
Right.
It was a move that surprised a lot of people. Some saw it as a chance for him to pursue his Hollywood dreams and expand his business ventures, while others wondered if he could live up to the Lakers' incredibly high standards, especially following in Kobe's footsteps.
Right.
I think we need to unpack this Lakers chapter a bit more.
Okay.
What were those expectations like in Los Angeles compared to what he faced in Cleveland?
Well, in Cleveland, it was all about bringing a championship to a city that had been starved for success.
Right.
In Los Angeles, it was about winning with style, with flair, with a nod to the Lakers' legendary past.
Okay.
It was a different kind of pressure.
Yeah.
It definitely adds another layer of complexity to his story. And then in 2020, the Lakers and the entire basketball world were shaken by the sudden passing of Kobe Bryant.
It really was a moment that transcended basketball.
Yeah.
Kobe was more than just a player. He was an icon, a role model, a symbol of Los Angeles. His death really hit the city and the sports world hard. Did you feel that too?
Absolutely. And for LeBron, who had spoken openly about Kobe's influence on him, it must have been deeply personal. They had battled it out on the court countless times, but there was also this mutual respect and a bond between them.
You could just feel the weight of that loss throughout the season. And in the midst of all that, LeBron vowed to carry on Kobe's legacy to lead the Lakers to a championship in his honor. Talk about a heavy burden to carry.
It's hard to imagine the pressure he must have felt. But he embraced that challenge, and ultimately he delivered, leading the Lakers to the 2020 championship. And remember, this was all happening inside the NBA bubble in Orlando because of the COVID-19 pandemic. It was a unique and challenging season, to say the least.
It really was. And that championship win felt so incredibly emotional. The Lakers dedicated the entire season to Kobe, and LeBron's speech after the game where he said, "Kobe, this is for you," was just so powerful.
Yeah. It was a moment that captured the raw emotion of the situation, the weight of the Lakers' legacy, and LeBron's determination to honor Kobe's memory. It really showed his ability to rise to the occasion, lead his team through adversity, and find strength in the face of tragedy.
It's amazing how he was able to channel all of that into his performance on the court. And then to add to his already incredible list of accomplishments, he goes on to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record in 2023, a record that had stood for almost 40 years.
Breaking a record like that is a testament to his incredible longevity, his consistency, and his unwavering dedication to the game. To surpass Kareem, a player who completely changed what it meant to be a dominant center, is just mind-blowing.
It really puts into perspective just how long he's been playing at such a high level.
Yeah.
And the most amazing part, he's still going strong. Just this season, he started playing alongside his son Bronny, making them the first father-son duo in NBA history.
It's truly a full-circle moment. To see LeBron sharing the court with his son is a testament to his love for the game and his ability to adapt and evolve as a player. What do you think it must be like for Bronny playing alongside his dad, who also happens to be one of the greatest basketball players of all time?
I can't even imagine. This must be surreal. But I think it also speaks to LeBron's commitment to family and his desire to create these special moments. And let's not forget, LeBron's impact extends far beyond the basketball court. He's become this incredibly successful businessman, a philanthropist, and a media mogul with a massive platform.
He's a prime example of how athletes can leverage their success in sports to make a real impact in other areas. He's the first NBA player to become a billionaire while still playing. His production company, Spring Hill Entertainment, is behind some hugely popular projects like The Shop, where he has these really insightful conversations with other athletes and celebrities, and Space Jam, A New Legacy. And then there's his I Promise School in Akron, Ohio, which is providing opportunities for at-risk children.
It's incredible how much he's accomplished off the court. And it's not just about making money. He's genuinely using his platform to make a difference.
He's not just signing endorsement deals, he's strategically investing in companies like Blaze Pizza, becoming a part owner, and really understanding the business side of things. It's a different level of engagement.
It's like he's building an empire. And speaking of building, he's also got his own media company, Uninterrupted, which gives athletes a platform to share their stories directly with fans.
What stands out to you about his approach to business and his off-court ventures?
I think it's his long-term vision and his commitment to empowering others. He's not just thinking about himself, he's trying to create opportunities for other athletes and for his community. But of course, his journey hasn't been without its controversies.
Right. His political views and his outspokenness on social issues have definitely drawn criticism from some. There was a big controversy surrounding his comments about the Hong Kong protests a few years back, and his outspoken support for the Black Lives Matter movement has made him a target for certain groups.
It's interesting how these issues have become so intertwined with his career. It's almost impossible to separate the athlete from the activist these days, especially for someone with as large a platform as LeBron.
He said that he feels a responsibility to speak out against injustice and use his platform to advocate for change. And even though his views haven't always been popular, he's remained consistent in his commitment to social justice.
It's a reminder that even the biggest stars in sports aren't immune to controversy, but it also shows how athletes are increasingly using their voices to address important issues in society.
Absolutely. So as we approach the end of our deep dive, what are your main takeaways from LeBron's journey so far?
It's been a wild ride. It's remarkable how he's managed to balance his dominance on the court with his incredible success in business, media, and activism. He's redefined what it means to be a modern athlete.
I agree. LeBron's story is still being written. He's defying expectations, breaking records, and using his influence to make a difference.
So the big question is, what will his legacy ultimately be?
Yeah, it really is the question, isn't it?
Yeah. He's achieved a level of success that most athletes can only dream of. 4 NBA championships, with 3 different teams, countless individual awards, a billion-dollar empire, and a global platform that he uses to advocate for social change.
Yeah.
It's pretty mind-boggling when you think about it.
It is. He's been in the spotlight for over 2 decades, and throughout that time, he's constantly pushed the boundaries of what's possible, both on and off the court.
And he's still going.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on how he's managed to maintain that level of excellence for so long?
Well, I think his work ethic and his drive to constantly improve are huge factors. You know, he's always looking for ways to get better, even as he gets older.
Yeah.
And he's also shown this incredible ability to adapt his game over the years. He came into the league as this high-flying, explosive scorer, and now he's more of a well-rounded playmaker who can control the entire game.
Right, it's like he can do it all.
Yeah.
That evolution is really fascinating.
Oh.
He hasn't been afraid to embrace different roles and responsibilities on different teams.
Yeah, and through it all, he's faced intense scrutiny and criticism.
Oh, yeah.
He's had to deal with the pressures of fame, the weight of expectations, and the complexities of being a Black athlete in America, yet he's remained incredibly resilient and focused on his goals.
Yeah, he's never let the noise distract him from what he wants to achieve. But it's not just about what he's accomplished on the court.
Right.
He's used his platform to build businesses, to create opportunities for others, and to speak out on issues that are important to him. He's really shown that athletes can be so much more than just entertainers.
And that's what makes his story so compelling. He's a champion, a record breaker, a businessman, a philanthropist, an activist. It's a story about talent, ambition, perseverance, and the power of using your influence to make a difference in the world. And the best part is, it's still being written.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this question. What do you think LeBron James's legacy will ultimately be? Is he the greatest basketball player of all time? A successful businessman, a powerful voice for social change, or maybe it's a combination of all of those things. Whatever your answer is, one thing is for sure. LeBron James has left an indelible mark on the world, and his story will continue to inspire us for generations to come.